How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji. Welcome to another episode of Care Talk. Guys, today we're going to quickly discuss the hidden battle, how inmates test staff every day. I'm going to quickly read from my notes, so bear with me. But basically, when you walk into a facility, whether it's your first day or your 1,000th, there's one thing you have to understand. The inmates are watching. Not just casually. They're analyzing, calculating, and planning. They're looking for two things: who they can control and who they need to respect. This isn't about being the toughest or the most experienced. It's about what you allow and how you respond. And the truth is, every officer, rookie or veteran, will be tested. For new officers, the goal is simple: shift them from the start. Get them to question their own authority, make them hesitant in their decision-making, and open the door to long-term manipulation. For veteran officers, the game is different. It's not about testing rules. It's about testing patience. Can they wear you down? Can they find signs of burnout? And have you lost the edge that once made you consistent? And for all staff, regardless of experience, there is one final test. Can they divide you? Because a divided staff is a weak staff, and a weak staff is an easy target. So let's go with rookies first. So the first test isn't physical, it's psychological. So the real test for new officers isn't about proving toughness, it's about proving consistency. If you're new, you might assume that the biggest challenge is proving yourself physically, and that's the first mistake. The real test is your ability to hold the line. Inmates don't need to overpower you. They just need to get inside your head. They will try to shift you at your core by making you second guess yourself. Here's how it starts. They'll ask for small favors, like, come on, it's just one extra food tray. If you say yes, they'll come back tomorrow, ask for something bigger. They'll overload you with questions. Are you sure that's the rule? But the other officer lets us because they want you to make you doubt yourself. They'll play the sympathy card, tragic stories, emotional manipulation, anything to make you feel guilty and let something slide. Or they'll flatter you. You're the only officer that treats us fair. They're not building you up. They're setting you up. And here's the kicker. None of this is random. It's deliberate. They are testing to see if you're consistent, if you hesitate, or if you cave under pressure. And I remember, what you allow once, you allow forever. That's how it is in corrections. Now, consistency is the hardest lesson that new officers have to learn. A rookie's reputation is built in the first few weeks. The standard they set early on is the one they'll be held to for the rest of their career. Maybe you let something slide one time. Maybe you said yes to a small favor just to avoid conflict. In your mind, it was no big deal. But to them, it was proof that you can be swayed. Here's what happens next. The next time they push a little further just to see if you'll fold again. If you correct it later, they'll call you out on your inconsistency. Well, you let it happen last time. And if another officer enforces the rule but you don't, they'll use it to divide staff. It starts small. An extra 5 minutes of recreation, an unauthorized seat at the wrong table. But those small moments set the tone for your entire career. A rookie who enforces rules consistently earns respect. A rookie who bends the rules earns a reputation as an easy target. The first rule you bend is the last rule you control. So now let's talk about veteran officers. So this is the war on burnout. Inmates don't have to break veteran officers today. They just have to wait for them to break themselves over time. That's powerful. If you've been in this job for a while, the tests don't stop. They just change. Inmates know they can't push you the same way they push a rookie. So instead, they focus on wearing you down. They'll push your buttons. They'll insult you, disrespect you, anything to see if you'll lose your temper. They'll exhaust you, asking the same question over and over, hoping you give up and let something slide. And they'll weaponize complaints, filing grievances, calling supervisors, forcing you to defend yourself so much that you, as a senior, start to second guess your authority. And in a worser case, you start to become disenfranchised. It's not about breaking you today. It's about breaking you over time. Because if they can get you to stop caring, to stop enforcing rules, or to just let them things go, they win. So the moment you stop enforcing the rules, they start enforcing their game. And then you have the ultimate test of division. A weak officer is a problem. A divided staff is a crisis. No matter how strong you are, no matter how experienced, there is one thing that will always be a weakness. Staff who don't have each other's backs. And inmates know this. They don't need to break the system if they can break the people running it. They'll spread rumors like Officer X doesn't like you. Officer Y lets us do this. Why don't you? They'll create conflicts. He said we could. Now you're saying we can't. Or they'll play favorites. You're the only officer I trust. It's a setup. The moment officers start doubting each other, inmates gain control. Inmates don't need weapons if they can use your own staff against you. So this is the final rule. What you allow once, you allow forever. This job isn't complicated, but it's unforgiving. Think about that. It's not complicated. It's unforgiving. Every decision, every action sets a precedent. If you let something slide today, expect it to happen again tomorrow. If you lose your temper today, expect it to be used against you later. And if you show division with another officer, expect inmates to exploit it. You don't get to control what inmates try to do, but you do control how you respond. And in this job, control is everything. The officers who succeed aren't the ones who are the biggest, the loudest, or the meanest. They're the ones who stand firm from day one, stay consistent no matter what, don't let emotions dictate their decisions, don't let burnout turn into complacency, and back each other up always. Because at the end of the day, you have two choices: control the job or let the job control you. Respect isn't built in a single moment. It's built in the moments no one thinks will matter. As always, guys, just some quick knowledge I wanted to spread your way. As always, guys, the show's Tear Talk. If you haven't, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. Bell's going to notify every time I post a video. Stay safe.